A very good evening and thank you for joining GBS News at 9. My name is Stephen George. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Paul Madenge. And now, President William Ruto has continued to urge the opposition to join the government and work together to develop Kenya. Speaking in Kwale County, Lungalunga constituency, where he launched various projects, this head of state reiterated that the broad-based government is the way forward.
On his third day of the Coastal Region Tour, President William Ruto today pitched camp in Kwale County. Earlier in the day, the president launched development projects in schools and electricity supply in Lunga constituency. In the afternoon, the president proceeded to address a gathering of the residents where he continued to preach the gospel of an inclusive government.
Mambo ya uchaguzi tulimalizana nayo. Mimi nimekubali ya kwamba tutengeneze serikali ya kuunganisha Wakenya wote. Hata wale walikuwa upinzani, tumekubaliana na wao wakuje tufanye pamoja. Ndio tuendeshe Kenya pamoja, kusiwe na ubaguzi, kusiwe na wale wamefungiwa nje. Sisi wote tuungane kwa pamoja. Waswahili wanasema umoja ni nini?
President Ruto promised to work with all the elected leaders from the region, adding that he will not discriminate the region on matters development, as has been the norm previously.
So watu wa Kwale, mimi nasema asante sana hawa viongozi wote, mulio niunganisha na wao kwa kura zenu. Kutoka MCA wenu, mbunge wenu, Mama Achani, Senator Boy na wale wengine wote tunafanya kazi kwa pamoja. Pale nyuma, hii pwani, hii Kwale ilionekana ya kuachwa nyuma. Ilionekana ya kubaguliwa, ilionekana ya kutengwa. Mimi nataka niwaambie, serikali hii ambayo nyinyi mmechangia, hii serikali nitahakikisha hamutabaguliwa tena.
Deputy President Kithure Kindiki echoed the same.
Na mimi naomba kwa heshima watu wa Lungalunga wa Kwale mshirikiane na serikali ambaye inafanya kazi pamoja na viongozi.
Local leaders who were present included Cabinet Secretary for Sports Salim Vuria, Kwale Governor Fatma Achani and Lunga MP Mondo Mandale, who hailed the president for his development track record, assuring the head of state of their full support.
Yangu tu ya mwisho, nataka kuwauliza watu wa Kwale na watu wa Kenya. Tunaelewa hapa katikati tuna watu wenye umbea na fitina. Tuna watu wenye mtafaruku ambao hawataki nchi yetu isonge mbele. Mimi nawauliza tuwapuzilie mbali. Tushike William Ruto na tuzidi kwenda mbele. Aendelee asiendelee?
Sasa Mheshimiwa Rais ametuletea tena. Sisi wa Kwale tuna vijiji vingi ambavyo havina stima. Leo hii pia mimi dispensary yangu inatumia kasola. Lakini leo hii tumeanzishiwa stima. Wale wavuvi wafanye biashara yao ikiwa salama, na sisi wengine tuweze kufanya biashara vizuri na tuishi mahali salama.
You are very unique kwa sababu wewe unaangalia watu ambao waliacha miaka nenda miaka rudi. Sisi huku kwetu connectivity ya electricity ilikuwa 37% peke yake hapa Lungalunga. Leo peke yake umeanzisha stima ambayo itaunganisha nyumba, sio watu, nyumba zaidi ya 2,000. Hao ni zaidi ya watu 10,000 ambao watapata stima hii awamu hii ambayo imekuja.
Victor GBS News at 9.
President William Ruto has warned individuals invading private and public lands in the coastal region, directing security agencies to take swift action against them. Speaking in Kwale, Ruto reaffirmed his administration's commitment to address historical land injustices by purchasing land from absentee landlords and resettling legitimate squatters. He emphasized that the government already has a priority list to guide the resettlement process. Now, the president condemned land cartels and fraudsters attempting to take advantage of the resettlement program by unlawfully occupying land. He instructed the Ministries of Interior and Lands to collaborate in ensuring only deserving squatters benefit, warning that no Kenyan has the right to appropriate another person's property. The police and provincial administration must protect private and public land from illegal invasions. Now, Ruto stated that now land disputes have long plagued the coastal region, with many families lacking ownership documents for the land they occupy. The problem stems from the colonial era land policies that left large tracts under absentee landlords, forcing generations to live as squatters. To address this, Ruto announced that his government has allocated 1.5 billion shillings to purchase land for resettlement, further strengthening efforts to resolve historical land injustices.
Lakini mimi nataka kutoa tahadhari. Kuna watu wakora na matapeli. Wakati wamesikia ati serikali italipa ardhi ya absentee landlords kwa wale wanaishi pale, sasa wamevamia mashamba ya wengine. Mimi nataka niwaambie provincial administration, watu askari polisi, hatuwezi kukubali watu wafamie mashamba ya watu wengine. Hakuna mtu anaruhusiwa ati kwenda kuvamia shamba ya mtu ati kwa ndio serikali iweze kumlipia hiyo ardhi. We are talking about squatters, the people who are currently occupying those pieces of land, and no Kenyan will be allowed to appropriate property of other Kenyans. Kwa hivyo, askari na watu wa provincial administration, make sure that you protect property that is private and that is public, and nobody should invade anybody's farm, because that is unconstitutional, and that is not the problem we are trying to solve. We are trying to solve the absentee landlord problem for those people who already are squatters in those pieces of land.
The former deputy president has stated that he is ready to work with Raila Odinga if he makes a decision to run for presidency. Gachagua, who spoke in an exclusive interview with one of the local media stations in the country, was interviewed just hours after Odinga hinted on giving his political direction soon. Will they work together? Dennis Karani brings us more.
He is a man on high demand as political influential leaders from both sides of the political arena struggle to win his heart.
When Raila Odinga comes, we can use him. He has huge, he's an elder statesman, Mr. Speaker, and in full implementation of NADCO, we must make Raila Odinga the Prime Minister of the Republic of Kenya.
The Kenya Kwanza administration, led by President William Ruto, planning to create a position to accommodate him, while the opposition side, led by Rigathi Gachagua, stating on their readiness to support Odinga's presidential bid if he will join their cohort, which is strongly charging towards unseating President William Ruto.
Raila Odinga has been cleaned by everybody. President Uhuru Kenyatta said he's a good man. William Ruto, who told us he's a witch doctor, who told us he has a lot of poverty, who told us he has no plan, who told us he is randarous, who told us he's planless, today is singing praises for him as the best leader, not just for Kenya, but for Africa. But I have heard him say that he's going to consult very widely, and he'll say the way forward. If he wants to be president, he can talk to us. We don't have a problem.
But Odinga, who has retreated back for further consultations from his friends and followers, is yet to give the correct direction on whether he will be joining President William Ruto's administration or he will be choosing to walk the path with the opposition side, who have shown their interest on working with him.
I must talk to Raila Odinga. I must ask him, Mzee, how did you craft this machine? How have you kept it going for 20 years?
If Odinga will unite with the opposition, the same scenario that happened in 1992 might reoccur again, in which the then powerful opposition, which could have sent the then President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi home, got divided, hence giving President Moi a highway into victory. But if the opposition will stand united and support a single leader, the 2002 general electoral victory is likely to occur once again. And on the other side, if Odinga chooses to stand with the president, the Kenya Kwanza administration is likely to remain in power. Which way for Odinga? Time will tell. Davis Karani, GBS News, Nairobi.
Former Migori Governor Okoth Obado is set to take the stand this April as he defends himself against charges linked to the tragic murder of Sharon Otieno, a Rongo University student whose death shocked the nation. The high-profile case, which has gripped the public attention for years, is set to unfold with new revelations as Obado and his co-accused prepare to challenge the prosecution's narrative.
Former Migori Governor Okoth Obado is set to defend himself against murder charges in April. He faces accusations related to the death of Sharon Otieno, a Rongo University student whose body was discovered in a forest in Homa Bay County on the night of September 3rd, 2018. At the time of her death, Sharon was 28 weeks pregnant. The hearing is scheduled to run from April 23rd to April 25th, 2025, following a court ruling that found enough evidence to require Obado and his co-accused, Michael Oyama, his personal assistant, and Caspar Lobiero, a former county employee, to present their defense. Obado has announced that he will take the stand and give sworn evidence. He also plans to call 2 witnesses to support his case. Meanwhile, his co-accused will present their defenses from May 19 to May 23rd, with Oyamo giving sworn testimony and Obiero opting for an unsworn statement. Together, they plan to call a total of 11 witnesses to counter the prosecution's claims. This follows the prosecution's case led by Catherine Moniki, which concluded in June 2024 after 42 witnesses painted a chilling picture of the events leading up to Sharon's death. Susan Nganga, GBS News.
Tensions escalated at Technical University of Kenya today as students took to the streets in protest against ongoing indefinite closure of the institution. Clashes broke out between the students and police, with tear gas lobbed to disperse the crowd as the frustrated students demanded the immediate reopening of the university and the resumption of their disrupted studies.
Chaos erupted at the Technical University of Kenya as students took to the streets to protest the indefinite closure of the institution, which has been halted for the past 3 weeks. The situation escalated quickly into violent clashes between the students and the police officers. Officers fired tear gas canisters to disperse the students who had blocked Haile Selassie Avenue in the heart of Nairobi. The protesters are demanding the immediate resumption of classes, which had been disrupted due to a strike by university staff members. The students are urging both the university management and the striking University Academic Staff Union and Kenya University Staff Union to expedite their negotiations and end the ongoing stalemate. They are particularly concerned about the disruption of their education, as they have been unable to sit for their exams since the semester began in September of the previous year.
The university was closed indefinitely 3 weeks ago. We started our semester last year in September. Up to now, semester is still going on. We've not sat for our exams, and we are demanding that school be reopened, and the Ministry of Education, the Parliament, and whoever is concerned should take responsibility of whatever is happening in the university. If it is to probe the management and the council, let them take responsibility. We want to go back to class.
Solidarity with the protesting students came from other student leaders who expressed their support for the students at the Technical University of Kenya.
We are here to stand in solidarity with our comrades from Technical University of Kenya because we understand that education is a right and not a privilege, and they have been out of class for a very long time. Our call goes straight to the government, to the Ministry of Education, that we demand the opening of the Technical University of Kenya so that our comrades can go back to class.
To allow them to continue tampering with our rights to education. So what I'm going to urge the government and the Ministry of Education at large and the management of the Technical University of Kenya hasten the process so that our comrades can go back to class.
The students expressed frustration over prolonged closure, with many of them highlighting the financial burden their families continue to bear to pay their tuition fee while their education is indefinitely put on hold. In the light of the ongoing closure, the students have now threatened to stage further demonstrations until the government addresses their concern.
Next Thursday, we are going to have a mother of demonstration here at the CBD. So we are asking the ministry, they should consider reopening TUK and give us the guidelines before Thursday.
Triza Tiengo, GBS News.
We are taking a short break. Keep your feedback streaming into our social media handles at GBS TV Africa. The SMS line is 21144. We'll be right back.
So through the four gospel books, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, John, we can know the heart of Jesus in depth. And the Jesus that we can feel him through the scriptures, and I'm very thankful about that. Jesus Christ came to this earth for our sins. He carried our sins. And he was crucified, and he received the punishment for sins. And he was put into the tomb and resurrected in 3 days. This is the gospel that we speak. About how Jesus died for our sins. The purpose of Jesus being crucified. He was crucified to pay for our sins. And through Jesus being crucified, clearly our sins have been washed clean. However, unfortunately, many people still say that they are sinners.
Hello, kids. Did you know a year has 31,557,600 seconds? Why do you think so? Exactly. There are 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, 24 hours in a day, and 365 in a year. We count the extra 0.25 because of leap year. When you multiply all these numbers together, you get a huge number of seconds. That's why a year feels long, but time still flies when you are having fun.
AS and A levels is a qualification program that is advanced. That is after one has completed the IGCSE program, then they advise to continue for AS and A level. AS typically is a 1-year program, and A levels is done in the 2nd year after completing the AS level. And this one equips the student with the knowledge that is recommended for the university and also by employers outside the countries or within the country.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back. Members of Parliament have criticized the slow compensation of Kenyan families who lost their land to government projects like road construction. They say many have waited for years without payment, and some have even died while waiting. The National Land Commission blames lack of funds and bureaucracy for the delays. Now members of Parliament want new laws to speed up compensation.
Members of Parliament from the National Assembly Committee on Lands have criticized the slow compensation of Kenyan families displaced by government projects like road construction. Led by Committee Chair Josh Nyamoko North Mugirango MP, the MPs raised concerns during a meeting with the National Land Commission to review the 2025 budget policy statements. Kitui South MP Rachel Nyamai highlighted the case of families displaced by the Kibwezi Mtumo Road in Kitui County and have waited 7 years for compensation. Nyamai showcased that many have struggled financially and some elderly victims have even passed away without receiving their payments.
Tulipewa barabara kutoka Kibwezi kwenda Ikudha kupitia Mutomo kwenda Ikanga kwenda Kitui kuelekea Kabati, ikapatianwa na Muburuto, na wananchi wa kwangu wakakubali barabara ijengwe kutoka Kibwezi kwenda Ikudha kwenda Mutomo kwenda Ikanga, kuteremka hapo chini kwenda hivi inapanda inaenda Kitui. Sasa mimi nataka kuuliza, tulipeana mashamba yetu ijenge barabara, na sasa wananchi wangu wanalia, wanasema hawajawahi lipwa, wakiwa wanadai hii pesa ambayo imekaa miaka inaelekea 7.
Speaking in a meeting with National Land Commission Chairperson Gachoki Gitari and CEO Kabale, blamed the delays on lack of funds and bureaucratic hurdles involving other state agencies like the Kenya National Highways Authority. Kabale commented on heartbreaking case of an elderly woman awaiting compensation for cancer treatment, unsure if she is still alive.
Sometimes we can receive patients who are dying. They have cancer patients. They need to go to India. They have no money. Mutomo Kibwezi. There was even a case of Mutomo Kibwezi, a mother going to India. Me and Beth, I think we had to go out of our way just to do undertaking for that woman to go to India.
MPs are calling for new laws to separate compensation payments from bureaucratic delays caused by state agencies. This situation has arisen due to the displacement of families in the name of road construction, with many elderly individuals struggling financially and some passing away from illness like cancer due to the delayed compensation payments. Will the voices of MPs be heard, and will any meaningful changes be made? Vivian Scalabo, GBS News.
The government has allocated 1.5 billion shillings for rural electrification in Siaya County. Energy and Petroleum Cabinet Secretary Opiyo Ndai has announced, speaking in Sirandu Village Game Constituency during the launch of 12 million shillings electrification project serving 105 customers. When Ndai reaffirmed the government's commitment to expanding electricity access across the country. However, the CS decried the rising cases of vandalism targeting power infrastructure, warning that those involved would face the full force of the law. He called on law enforcement and local administrators to crack down on culprits, urging the public to safeguard government investments. He also reminded county governments of their duty to budget for and pay street light bills to prevent disconnections now. The rural electrification program in Kenya dates back to the early 2000s, spearheaded by the Rural Electrification Authority. Over the years, initiatives like the Last Mile Connectivity projects have significantly increased access to electricity in rural areas. Despite these efforts, challenges such as vandalism, delayed bill payments, and infrastructure maintenance continue to hinder progress. Now, in another story, Britain on Tuesday announced a pause on certain bilateral aid programs to Rwanda and imposed diplomatic sanctions on Kigali in response to its alleged involvement in ongoing conflict in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. The decision comes amid growing international pressure on Rwanda, with accusations that it has been providing support to the M23 rebel group, which have been advancing in Eastern Congo since January.
Britain has halted some bilateral aid to Rwanda and imposed diplomatic sanctions on Kigali over its alleged support for the M23 rebel in eastern Congo, escalating international pressure on Rwanda amid rising regional tensions. The M23 rebel has seized significant territories, including the strategic cities of Goma and Bukavu, as well as key mineral-rich regions that may be crucial to Congo's economy. Rwanda, however, has consistently denied backing the group, arguing that its military presence in the area is purely defensive. Kigali claims that its forces are acting in self-defensive against armed groups operating from within Congolese territory, some of which are hostile to Rwanda. The escalating conflict has further strained regional relations, prompting the international community to take a firm stance. Britain's latest measures add to mounting diplomatic pressures on Rwanda, as Western nations push for peaceful resolution to the crisis and urge Kigali to disengage from any activity that may be fueling instability in the region. Paris Kigo, GBS News.
The ongoing violence in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo has led to devastating toll, with around 7,000 lives lost since January and 450,000 people left homeless. Prime Minister Judith Suminwa Tuluka addressed the UN Humanitarian Rights Council in Geneva, highlighting the catastrophic effects of the conflict, which has intensified as the M23 rebel group advances. Tuluka called for international action, urging the imposition of sanctions against those responsible for the escalating violence.
In the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, violence has reached catastrophic levels, claiming nearly 7,000 lives since January, according to Prime Minister Judith Suminwa Tuluka. Speaking at the UN Human Rights Council in Geneva, Tuluka painted a grim picture of the ongoing conflict, which has left 450,000 people homeless after the destruction of 90 displacement camps.
The destruction of more than 90 camps for internally displaced people, attacks on hospitals and humanitarian warehouses. According to the UN, more than 450,000 people are without shelter, food and water.
The conflict, fueled by the M23 group's aggressive advance, has led to widespread displacement, summary executions, and severe human rights abuses. The rebels have not only captured strategic territories, but also valuable mineral deposits, escalating the stakes in the region. Tuluka has called on the international community to take stronger action, urging the imposition of decisive sanctions to curb the violence and hold perpetrators accountable.
We call on the international community to strengthen its humanitarian support, to provide resources to take care of thousands of wounded and displaced people, and to ensure that international humanitarian law is respected, as its principle is essential to save lives and ease the suffering of Congolese people.
As the government of the DRC faces increasing criticism over its handling of military strategies, particularly after losses in the North and South Kivu provinces, the situation remains dire. The international community now faces growing pressure to intervene in an effort to end the suffering and restore peace to the region. Reporting for GBS News, Irene Juguna.
Britain announced that it would post some bilateral aid to Rwanda and impose other diplomatic sanctions on Kigali over its role in the conflict in neighboring Congo. Rwanda is facing global pressure of allegations it's supporting the M23 rebel group, which since happened on January has captured skirts of eastern Congo, including the cities of Goma and Bukavu. The valuable mineral deposits where they are found in Kigali denies backing the group, but saying its own troops are acting in self-defense against hostile groups based in Congo. Susan Nganga reports.
The United Kingdom has announced that it will pause most of its bilateral aid to Rwanda due to the country's alleged involvement in the ongoing conflict in the Democratic Republic of Congo. This decision follows international pressure on Rwanda, which is accused of supporting the M23 rebel group in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. In a statement, the United Kingdom announced that it will suspend direct financial aid to the Rwandan government, excluding support for the most poor and vulnerable populations. High-level participation at events organized by the Rwandan government will cease, and trade promotion efforts with Rwanda will be reduced. Future military training support to Rwanda will also be halted, and export licenses related to the Rwanda Defense Forces will be reviewed. The United Kingdom confirmed that it will soon impose sanctions on Rwanda in response to the conflict. The conflict in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo has escalated, with the M23 rebels capturing key cities like Goma and Bukavu. Rwanda denies backing the M23 but claims its troops are acting in self-defense against hostile groups. Susan Nganga, GBS News.
Botswana's government on Tuesday finalized a long-awaited 10-year diamond sales agreement with GBS, a unit of Anglo-American, bringing clarity to one of the world's most significant diamond supply deals. The agreement, which had faced delays, also includes a possible 5-year extension, providing stability for both parties in the long term.
Botswana has finalized a long-delayed 10-year diamond sales agreement with GBS, securing a key deal for the country's diamond industry, while adjusting its share of production from the Botswana joint venture. Under the final terms, Botswana state-owned Okavango Diamond Company will receive a 40% share of the production from Botswana, the 50-50 joint venture between Botswana and GBS. This marks a revision from the provisional agreement, which initially proposed increasing OD's share to 50%. The deal secures Botswana continued access to a larger portion of its diamond output while maintaining its long-standing partnership with GBS, a crucial player in the global diamond industry.
This is our first real contact with the new administration. We are happy to have you here. We believe that there are issues that we need to discuss. We have a long-standing partnership which has benefited this country, has carried us for those many years, and we are confident that it will endure into the future.
The agreement is seen as a significant step in ensuring the sustainability of Botswana diamond sector, which is a major contributor to the country's economy. It also reflects the ongoing negotiations to balance Botswana's desire for greater control over its natural resources with GBS' role in marketing and distributing the country's diamond on the international stage.
We've been in partnership with Botswana for 58 years now, and the spirit of this meeting was about the renewal of that partnership with renewed energy. We're at a time when the diamond markets are in a challenging place, probably the most challenging diamond market since the 1980s. And what we agreed is that the world's leading diamond country, the Republic of Botswana, and the world's leading diamond company, De Beers, will stand shoulder to shoulder in marketing and creating desire for natural diamonds.
Peris Kigo, GBS News.
For your most favorite segment of the show, the sports news, let's get sporty. Nairobi County Government has partnered with Esport Federation to promote and expand the esports industry in Kenya. Speaking at a press briefing at City Hall, Nairobi Deputy Governor Njoroge Mushiri emphasized the county's commitment to support digital innovation and young youth empowerment through esports, recognizing its potential as a viable career path and economic driver. These partnerships aim to provide infrastructure, training, and opportunities for local gamers to compete globally. By fostering esports talent, Nairobi County seeks to position Kenya as a regional hub for competitive gaming, aligning with the growing global industry that has seen significant investments and job creation worldwide. Esports has gained traction in Kenya with increasing participation in international tournaments and the rise of professional gaming teams. The sector's expansion is further supported by improved internet access, digital transformation, and growing interest from corporate sponsors. Nairobi's involvement marks a strategic move to harness esports' potential in job creation and youth engagement.
The exposure, going to Paris, especially even meeting the other gamers from other countries, You see their gameplay, their ideas, and even become friends. And so you just network with them and you grow. Yeah.
So you're looking to defend your campaigns then?
Yeah, of course. I've actually won it the past 2 years. So if I win it this time, it will be the that time. And yeah, of course, I believe I'm the best player in the country. So we'll see.
This is the beginning of our partnership with the county. As I've said, the county is bringing in sponsorship for this competition. They shall be providing charter hall. They shall be providing equipment, which these are costs we've been incurring before. They shall be providing the bleacher stands, the LED screens. They shall basically be running the mega grand finale for us. We shall only be offering the technical expertise, but all the resources required to set up a mega live event for esports, the county government is coming in a very generous way.
And we're happy actually to collaborate with the team that is promoting esports, e-gaming. And it's good to hear the kind of good work already that has been done. And we as a county government are coming in to support this, to ensure that we provide opportunities for our youth in various settlements in the city to participate in these games, which they probably do in an informal way in various parts of the county. But now we have a structure through which we can pick out the best and give them opportunities to participate in the games themselves, but also develop an industry around it about development of the software and the infrastructure that helps in providing opportunities for our staff and our youth to participate in these games.
And that's all we had for you tonight at GBS News at 9. It is always a pleasure having you on board. Let's do this again next time, same channel. My name is Stephen George, and our sign language interpreter tonight has been Paul Madenge. Good night.